Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I wanted to overall do an episode giving advice to cafe workers, because, working at a cafe, at least for me, because the cafe that I worked at was like a cafe slash restaurant. So it was like, they had like its Starbucks elements, but it had like its Red Lobster elements and stuff. It wasn't like it was a restaurant, but it was a cafe, like cafe restaurant. It was more of a restaurant than a cafe and things, but they called it a cafe. But anyways, I worked at that place for 4 years, 2016 to 2020. It was crazy at times, like, oh my god, like the times it would get busy, the times I would be dealing with rude customers. Let me think of some other stuff. Oh, the time where I didn't even have no key card, so I'm having to go back and forth to location. Cause so our like how our cafe was set up, it was like three locations in an area, in this like little area and stuff. So like each location was maybe like a block and a half away or something like that. And like it was, there was at times where we would have to like, so for an example, we would get like a Coca-Cola order, right? And so we would like order at three different locations. We wouldn't just order at one location, but at times whoever the delivery person was would just deliver the stuff at that location. So there was the one day I'll never forget when they had it where like all the sodas had got delivered to one location. So they had taped the sodas like all together on this broken cart. And I had to like push the cart and hold the cart up at the same time, going from three different locations. I wish I can show you guys, like, I think one day I'll do that. Show you guys like a play-by-play of how, like, of where I had to travel and stuff. Because it may look like, just walking there without no carts, none of that stuff, perfectly fine. When you're having to hold up a heavy cart, right, and push it, kind of like do like a push-pull maneuver at the same time, and you're having to go to three different locations, bruh, I'll never forget the level of anger that was running through my body that day. Like, no, that was some anger where I'm like, okay, you guys either gonna have to help me on these little Coca-Cola adventures, or y'all gonna have to give me a key card so I don't have to wait and do all this other extra. Like, nah, man, it's like, cause then you're waiting and then like you're gonna have to like go, you get your body all relaxed and then you have to push the cart again, and it's like you kind of lose your strength that you was building up along with, and I'm like, that's doing too much, man. So that from freaking what other things have I had to, there's a lot, man, there's a lot. But anyways, to overall give you guys advice on working at a cafe, that's one thing that I can tell you is prepare to either work at a slow location or a fast location where it's like you got people like coming through there like left and right, and that's like the fast location. And the slow is like when it just nobody is, like, people come through but it ain't gonna be a whole lot, because like to me fast was like ringing up well over 500 people. So fast is like you're gonna get through the day a lot quicker. Slow locations, like the time, if you don't have nobody there to like conversate with, the time is just gonna drag on and on and on and on. And that was the one thing that I didn't like, was when they had me work at the slow locations. So the two locations that they had me work at, there was one location that required two people, and then the other location was just one, talking cashiers and stuff. Like, of course the cooks and the chefs were there and things, but I wasn't cool with all of them, especially at the other location. At the location that I worked at, I was cool with I was cool with customers. I was cool with the chefs, the cooks, other cashiers. That was at my location. At the one location, like, I think it was just kind of like a universal thing. You're gonna automatically be cool with the cashier, right? So there was that. And then, but the cooks, on the other hand, like, they kind of just was quiet and kept to themselves and things. That's one thing, though, I will say. It seemed like at my location, like, the cooks and chefs would have fun. Like, at the other locations, they just was, like, quiet, putting food out and stuff. So I was like, I mean, that's cool, too, where it's like, like, but either way, I'm like, bruh, me personally, I want to be conversating with people and stuff. So, because I'm telling you, it's like it's so that's one thing. Make sure you make friends at where, but that's like just universal advice for any job. Just make sure you make friends and stuff. But yeah, it's like working at a cafe. It's like make sure you are in cool. Make definitely the one person you're gonna want to be cool with is a cashier. All right, if you cool with a cashier, then I feel like you guys can like obviously work. But yeah, then it's like, but you guys just kind of like sitting down, just talking about like your guys' day-to-day life and things. Yeah, overall, like it could be chill, but because don't be like me. And when I started off, like I was bumping heads with both, even the supervisor, cashier, and just the regular cashier. I was bumping heads with both of them. The supervisor, I mean, doing her job, she's telling me to do things. I'm all like, why I gotta do that? I'm like, what in what law book says I gotta do that? Her having to take me into the back, tell me it's like, okay, like this is your job. And I'm like, you know what? That does make sense. I'm like, this is my job. So then the other one, the cashier, it was like me and her, we were just bumping heads. I think it was just more so as a miscommunication. And then yeah, it was like it's just miscommunication and stuff. Like if that stuff doesn't get like worked out right then and there, then yeah, overall it's gonna be bad. So that's why it's like make sure at least if you're gonna be good with anybody, make sure you are good with the cashier and stuff. Cooks, like I feel like as the time progresses on, like you start to be cool. Because I know like I would at times like, well, this is like because I feel like at one point when they had started hiring like new cooks and things, like we would chill with each other like when we was working, but when we was on our lunch break, oh, we would just like at first we would sit with each other and be just talking, cracking jokes, whatever, and all that stuff. And then as the time like progressed on, when they started hiring new cooks and stuff, yeah, that wasn't happening. It was like even like because with cashiers, it's like at times like we would like sit with each other and things and just kind of be like chilling. But like as the time progressed on, no, we started listening to our music. So like. And that was it. And that's the crazy thing is, it was like, it just like how much it has changed. So like, expect like when if you guys start, if it's a place where like a lot of people are like going back and forth and stuff, or just getting hired and, either getting fired or quitting, whatever, like expect a lot of different faces and things because it's, yeah, it was like at the cafe that I worked at, even at the other locations, I know that they were saying like a lot of people was like, quitting, like there was cashiers. Oh my God, like there was cashiers at the one location. It seemed like that it was like cursed. Like, and that's why I kind of didn't want to be there because I know that they were talking on transferring me there, and I'm like, no, I like this location. Yeah, it might be the busiest location and all that. And that's like, one thing, like another bit of advice, like expect to, just overall, like expect like like a busy location. That's why I was talking on that fast stuff earlier. But yeah, working at a slow location, oh my God. Like, you'll notice the difference between, like, the two. Like, you think, like, oh, okay, like, it's gonna be an easy walk in the park and stuff. Yeah, that's the thing, though, with working at a slow location. When you go from working at a fast location and then they put you in a slow location, yeah, you're gonna get all the work done, but then there's just gonna be that time, and that's what I mean, like by being in cool with people, there's gonna be that time where you just sitting there and you are looking around and you're like, there is nothing for me to do. You're like walking around the cafe trying to find stuff to do. And oh my God, like when they had me work at the other locations, like I was getting things done, or like asking them like, okay, like where is this located? Where is this? And then, just filling up shelves, cleaning counters. And then it's just like that time where you just kind of standing there and it's like, dang, when I did everything, I'm like, let me do like a little walk around and see and stuff. One customer comes up, ring them up, then it'd be that customer that don't really like talking, and it's like, hey, stay up here for a minute. Let's just conversate about life and things. Earlier you say you got kids. I'm like, all right, how many kids you got? Just tell me about your life from like 2006 all the way up until now. I'm like, I need something to get me through the day, because no, that's one thing that we at the one location where only I was there. they had like a TV, but the TV was behind me. So like I would have to like have my whole body turned around to like watch TV and things. I'm like, okay, you can't really do that. Can't have your phones out. Can't be listening to music. I mean, obviously, you know, you at work and stuff, but even you can't even have like no music up there playing. Like, and then and then expect to be on your feet a lot. Like that's like one key thing I feel like, because if you work at a cafe where you're at least allowed to like sit down, and that's not likely of a cafe. If you look into any Starbucks, Tully's, I think, do they even have Tully's around anymore? They might, but any cafe whatsoever, you ain't gonna see nobody unless they're on their break. But you ain't gonna see nobody, even at the cash registers. I'm like, bro, I would have at least liked to have. You didn't even have to have one of them seats where you can just lean back, but just something where you could just kind of sit there and stuff in. Nah, man, they ain't have none of that. So yeah, that's one bit of advice I could tell you guys. Like, expect to be on your feet a lot. Like, there was never, and oh my god, like I remember when I started working at that place, like on how sore my legs were from like just standing, my back. What else? Like, you know, walking around. And then eventually it just got to a point in time where I was like, my body was like built for that type of stuff. Like, working at that cafe, it was like, I didn't even need no gym membership from the amount of like walking out with like 2 things of like 12 cans of sodas and things, and like boxes that they come in, walking out with those, having to like fill up certain sodas and stuff. And that was like on the day where it was, because we also, at my location, we also had a catering department. So they would be at times where they would like take all the carts and stuff. And then like, you know, then the one only cart that they had there was the cart that they had like all the boxes on it. So I'm like, okay, I ain't gonna take all those boxes off so I'll just carry out like 2 things of sodas at a time and just, you know, be going back and forth with that. What are some other things? Then the times where I've had to carry. So for those that don't understand like how those fountain machine works, like for the sodas and stuff, because there was like, we had the canned sodas and then we had the fountain machine sodas. So there would be at times where we would be low on Coca-Cola, right? Because Coca-Cola came in these like big boxes. So there was a day where I thought, you know what, this thing is light, I can carry this. Like, yeah, it might be heavy that initial, but I feel like the more like, you know, you carry it, it's gonna get lighter. Oh, I was wrong. Like, no. 100% I was wrong on that. I remember the first time I had to like go in, well, it wasn't the first time I had to change it out, but it was the first time I had to go to one of the other locations to get it, and to get like the Coca-Cola like fountain box. So I'm carrying it, right? At first, like walking like down, or it was kind of like the sidewalk had like a little bit of an incline. So I don't know, maybe if it was like downhill, it would have helped. But I still felt like it's still gonna be heavy. It's like, it don't matter where gravity is taking you, it's still gonna be heavy and stuff. So anyways, I'm carrying it like, you know, to the next location, which is like maybe a block and a half from where I was at. And yeah, overall, like as the time progressed on, it got heavier and heavier and heavier. So that's one thing for sure. Make sure if you work at a cafe that you know you're gonna have to be transferring stuff, make sure you bring like a cart, or if it's gonna be somewhere it requires 2 people to like carry, then that or a cart. But do not, okay, heavy things like that, if it's gonna require, if you're gonna have to be traveling back and forth from like, you know, outside locations, all that, either use a car or a cart. Okay, one of the two. But no, I was carrying it, and then once when I got at the sidewalk, and the sidewalk light was taking forever. That was like the one time where I'm like, okay, like there ain't no cars like going. I'm literally about to cross the street. I'm like, I don't care anymore at this point. And then when I crossed, it was like from just standing there, and then you trying to like walk with it again and stuff. And I'm like, you gotta be a bodybuilder to work at that place, man. Like, you honestly have to. But no, I took me a break. I was carrying it, and then I had set it up on the wall, and it was just kind of like sitting there, and I'm like, I am tired. Like, I'm about to just throw this away somewhere and just be all like, hey, like some crackheads ran up on me with sticks and said, give it up. And I'm like, well, in their head, they think that stick is a weapon, so like, I don't want to find out what it does. I'm like, I gave them the soda and stuff. They, you know, they probably thought it was a UFO or something, or just something, but I'm like, I don't want to carry that no more. So from that day forward, I was like, no, the Coca-Cola dude, he gotta like make sure of it. You know, well, the times where like if they were to like mess up on the order, I'm like, the soda cans, I'm cool with that. I can carry those from like location to location, but But the fountain sodas, I'm like, nah, man, you gonna have to carry that over your use your truck something. But I'm like, that's just too much, man. So, but yeah, overall, like, I'm trying to think of some other advice that I could give. Yeah, oh, the customers and things. I feel like that was like the one thing, I haven't really talked on. But I mean, I've talked on like my experiences with customers before. So yeah, I think, with the customers that give you an attitude, don't even really acknowledge them. I think that they try to like look forward to, upsetting some cashier worker thinking they're gonna get some free food or whatever. My thing is this. I'm like, that ain't gonna happen, because I'm like, at least with me, I knew that I was there. And I dealt with some crazy customers. I mean, the one woman, I guess she felt that I was taking too long taking her credit card, so she starts shaking her card in my face, and I'm kind of looking at, she wasn't like in my face. If she had been in my face, I'm like, nah, you could go take that over to McDonald's or somewhere. I'm like, you ain't gotta come back in here no more. But she was kind of like making sure that my vision had caught, her shaking her card. So I just kind of looked at her and gave her a look and was like, what are you doing? Like, it was like kind of like one of those looks where it's like, you kind of raise your eyebrow a little bit and you just looking at them like, what are you doing? Stop that. Like, don't you see I'm working right now doing something? I'm like, I'll get your card when I can. What else? Oh, I was just thinking of the time where a customer, he told me that I should have paid for college because I shortchanged them and stuff. And it's like, okay, I'm pretty sure there's some people out there with like free education, whether they went to a community college or wherever, and they're a lot smarter than you. And I'm like, I could just tell that just a person that probably ain't never went. And the funny thing is, like, I never did go to college, but I do feel like that I am smarter than him. Because the reason why I say that is because if somebody shortchanged you, or if somebody were to shortchange me, and there's been times like where not so much as like shortchange, but I've had it where people have given me like too much money, right? So, and to talk on that real quick, kind of getting off topic, but there was a time where I remember I went into GameStops and I was getting Destiny. And the guy, I think he was, the change was like $5. He was getting ready to give me 50. And I was all like, whoa. I was like, no, bro. I'm like, the game didn't even cost that much. The game was like, I think it was like $30 or something like that. It was like some amount of money. But yeah, the change back was like 5. So he was like, I seen he was counting. I was like, homie. And then even the managers are like, whoa, wait a minute. It's like, you're giving him too much and stuff. And I was like, you're only supposed to give him 5. And he's like, oh, my mistake. Now, the thing is this, me observing that situation, me being a part of it, I'm not going to already make this guy feel bad about him giving me too much money and stuff. I'm like, no, it's like, hey, dude, you gave me too much change. It's like, here's the money back. Leave it at that. I'm going to have a good interaction with the person if I'm going to be going out in public, right? Now, if it would have been a situation where I said something to this guy, cracked some joke, he gets upset, he tries to start a physical altercation with me, he don't even care about his job no more. He's all like, look, I've been fired before, I don't care about nothing. Like, no, me and you going out in this parking lot, we're gonna fight. And I'm like, I really don't have time for that. And so, but that situation could have happened. If I was one of those type of people, I feel like if it had been in my younger days where I was like in high school or something, that guy would have said something, I probably would have made a smart comment back. And I'm all like, if you don't get your Steve Urkel looking stuff up out my face, man, it's like out here shaped like a frog. I'm like, I would have started roasting that guy. I really would have. I'm like, cause no, but I've gotten older. I'm like, and plus I'm like, I like receiving, good paychecks and things. So I'm not going to ruin my money fooling around with you. But oh my God, that guy was the most snobbiest customer ever. And it's like, bro, stop it. Like, I guarantee and I promise you, if these guys, if one of these, whatever company he worked for, if they found somebody with a better, like, qualification of whatever position that you're in, right? They found somebody a lot better than you. You're gone. You're done for. You're getting up out of there. You're going to get transferred or whatever. But it's like, homie, stop it. It's like, you are not special. Like, this dude would come up and be like on his phone, like, oh, look at me. I'm having a business call. I'm like, who cares? Like, bro, your food is this price. Give me your card. Okay, go about your business. Get up out the line. But man, it's like, it was customers like that, rude customers that were stealing. And then, like, you had the customers where it was like, you must be like an angel spawn or something. Like, why are you so nice? Why are you so chilled and things? Like, there would be customers where I'm like, nah, like, you're invited to my wedding. I'm like, no, you people are chilled, man. I'm like, nah, I need to, can you guys just only come through? Like, there would be customers. I remember when we had like this open box policy. And I think I talked on that before, but we had an open box policy. And yeah, it was, it's like just overall like telling people, it's like, hey, people have been stealing. Can you open up your box real quick? And yeah, there would be the nice customers that's all like, oh yeah, sure, man. Yeah, sure, no problem. It's like, all I just got was, and it's like, I just want to give you your food for free because you just being nice and stuff. Then there's the customers who's like, what, you accusing me of stealing? And it's like, I'm not accusing you of stealing. I'm just saying, can you open up your box because your box is closed and I can't see what you're having? Like, well, you can't just go based off of my word. I'm like, we have done that before and people have lied. Their liars exist. I'm not saying that you are stealing. All I am asking you to do is to open up your box. Oh my God, this is the worst customer service I've. I'm like, I know, sir. I know. I'm like, I don't want to deal with this either. But look at where we're at. This could have been eliminated if you just open it up, went about your business. But instead, you made the situation, oh, I'm never coming back here again. I'm like, thank you. You're saving me time and into dealing with you. I'm like, cause I can tell that your wife goes to bed early at night dealing with somebody like you. Like, no, she don't even want. As soon as you walk through the door, she's already in that bed asleep and things. But my goodness, I'm like, man, them customers, I'm telling you, so be prepared to deal with some rude customers and stuff. And then, yeah, what else? What else can I overall talk on or like advice? Oh, and yeah, prepare for pandemics and stuff. Cause yeah, I was like at my old job when when the pandemic hit, it was like our job had like it was no customers. Like the funny thing is like there were already no customers when it was like the holiday weeks and stuff. So like for an example, I remember I think it was like the last Christmas that we had like spent there. It was like there was barely any customers that had came through. Like I remember the security guard came through with a hoverboard. Some other customers had came through, but it was pretty like dead that day, right? And then yeah, when the pandemic had hit, it was like I think that was the lowest I had ever seen, customers come through. It was like I think maybe it was either 5 or less than 5, but it wasn't a whole lot of customers. We actually had like food like pre-cut, pre-made. Because there was like, we're not going to turn on the ovens and all this other stuff trying to cook up things. And, and it's like, it'd just be a waste of time and energy and stuff. So, yeah, man, it was like pandemic. It really did a number on our cafe. That was the whole reason why I had left. Like, I didn't leave because I had quit. Like, I left because of the COVID and stuff. So, yeah, it was like, I probably would have still been working there if the pandemic would have never happened and stuff. But yeah, man, it was crazy. It was like definitely a crazy experience working at a cafe and stuff. But if you guys do have any questions, feel free to contact me on social media. I stream twice a day on Twitch at 11 a.m. and 11:30 p.m. Sometimes maybe earlier, sometimes maybe later in the morning streams and stuff. But, yeah, that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 43 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram at TMossBoss. And make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, if you are purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. And we knock $20 off your first purchase. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.